So obviously, spoilers for the first episode of season 2, part 2. This is obviously discussion about it. I don't want to hear any, oh my gosh, you didn't warn me that there were spoilers in here. You're being warned now, okay? I know why you'd click on a video talking about my reaction to this season 2, part 1, and not think it's a spoiler. There are people like you, and you exist, and I don't know why you do. So, this is my reaction to season 2. I just woke up. I was saying my reaction already. Realized my mic was off, but it doesn't matter since this isn't even like it's not like oh my gosh, here's my reaction. It's me talking about the overall episode. So, let's just say I'm very, very, very pumped for season 2 to be back. I also want to say my dude OTTO has hands. So, we left off on season 2, right? With OTTO doing that punch to the face of Subaru and being like, stop trying to look cool in front of your friends, bro. Which is hilarious because OTTO's doing like a pose like he's, stop, bro. Stop trying to look cool in front of your friends. But he's obviously still kind of doing that. I know that's not the intention, but it's really kind of funny when you think about it. But OTTO had hands. OTTO was not listening to it from Subaru because Subaru was trying to give excuses for the fact that he can't tell anybody. But on a different note, he can technically tell everybody what's going to happen. He just can't say what's going to, well, he can't say he's, returned by death. He can't say that, obviously. Okay. So I think it's interesting because in Subaru's own words, he says that, oh, no, it's not going to work. I've already tried that. But the whole end of season 1 is you help asking people for help and it works. So that's not true. He's now in such a strained situation that he can't even open his eyes to see what he's already done. He's in a tight spot. Roswell has made this thing so divisive, so picky choosy, so you'd have to kill one person, you can't have both, that it's ridiculous. It's breaking his mind to some degree. And then now with the witches as well, he felt he had some help with Echidna, but as other people have pointed out in their videos as well, I'm under the impression that most of Echidna's personality was very fake. I think she knows enough about Subaru to know what kind of women he likes. And a lot of her, I guess at least in the English dub, I watched sub originally, then I watched the English dub last night again so I can have like a kind of a refresher. It comes off very Amelia-ish. And a little bit like, his mom also talks a little similar to Amelia too. A lot of like extra words going on, and oh my gosh, I'm so kind of quirky. No, wait, don't leave. I'm so embarrassed, and all that kind of stuff like that. She's playing off of his emotions. She knows what he likes, and that, in that regard, is already a power dynamic that makes the relationship already a bit tense for me, at least at the start. Even when he says I can return by death, she's like, oh well, what did she say? What she was like, oh, and a witch of greed wants to know all. Like, she doesn't hide it. I'm not saying she's hiding any of her information. She doesn't even know. She's so far gone herself that she doesn't think anything she's doing is wrong. Okay, that's where we've gotten with her. None of the witches do. Okay, you have to be aware that the witches are just acting on whatever they're on. But I just thought that was interesting. Again, Subaru has now gotten to the point where he doesn't even remember how helpful his help actually was. It just wasn't completely successful. So again, OTTO throws hands. OTTO throws him on the ground. OTTO's like, you gotta trust me, and Subaru, I guess he allows it, because now we see OTTO hiding in the bushes while Subaru goes to go talk with Roswell. OTTO has 2 branches near his head, like he's gonna be sneaky about it, and then Ram's just looking out the window, like, what is this freak doing? Why is he just staring in here? Subaru goes talking to Roswell, and I love what Subaru does. Subaru starts a bet. He goes, if I win this whole entire thing, because I already know what you're trying to do, if I win this thing, then you have to go and listen to me. And then Roswell was like, you're going to forgive me? He's like, no, I'm not going to forgive you, but you're going to definitely listen to me, and you're going to get Amelia, you're going to make Amelia the ruler. That's what's going to happen, or we're going to get this done, which is great. I love Subaru talking with his backbone again. It sucked to see him suffering so much, especially because that last season had the most gruesome death to me. That rabbit death was I can't even watch it. I can't watch it twice. It's so bad. What we're going to go back to. So, Roswell, obviously, the entire talk, he's not in a happy mood. He is mad. You can tell he's not happy. Subaru just left him talking all like, very dire, and Roswell was on top, and ha ha ha, you can't do anything about it. I'm Dio. Like, he was having his whole moment. And then now Subaru's come back like, no, dude, I'm not having any of that. So we don't know how he's going to interfere with the plan. He might just leave it alone, but I think to a certain point, if Subaru starts looking like he's winning, I think he might do something. I don't think he's going to do a ton. I think he'll let it go if he loses. But I don't think Roswell's just gonna. He's literally lying down, but I don't think he's gonna take it lying down. Where are we going with that? Roswell even told him the time he had, so he's very confident about what he has said already. He hasn't done that in any other loop, and this one is the first one. He goes, "You had 3 days, and you ain't gonna do anything about it." So we're on an actual bet now. I don't know about Ram right now. So Ram is kind of a weird wild card in the middle of this. She is now shown that she is still going for Subaru. Like, I mean, she's shown it before in season. She's shown it before in season 2. But we finished season 2 off with Ram smiling after Roswell killed her. I was rewatching season 2 yesterday, and there's a certain scene when Roswell is talking about the witch that Ram like turns her head and her expression is anger. Like it's not a good emotion. It's clearly anger, maybe slight, despite something like that. It's very positive, is what I would say. That looked to me looked negative. So who knows how far her allegiance is gonna go to Roswell in this? Do I think she's gonna betray him? I'm not sure. I don't think so. I think she'll get involved and she'll be betraying him by, like by proxy. So like she'll be she won't be helping his plans completely. She'll be helping Subaru a little bit, as she already has, by pointing out like, well, yeah, it's cool that you trust Amelia, but is she even like aware of her past? Is she going to be able to do anything with her past? Do you even know anything about her past? And then obviously Subaru's like, I guess not, no. We got our first scene with Subaru now going like, oh, maybe I should talk to Amelia. So we now know that, again, as I was saying beforehand, Ram could be a wild card. I don't know if she's going to be a wild card. I don't know if she's going to change her opinion. I don't know if Roswell's witch love is going to piss her off a little bit. Again, we already know about her family backstory. And now she might be a little less emotionally stable since Rim isn't here. It's like when Subaru threatened to throw off the Patrash, the first thing that came in her mouth was, oh, it feels like that's happened before. And that's the most emotional, like, Subaru's seen Ram openly outside of the time she wanted to kill him. So, she doesn't really show her feelings like that. She's usually very distant about her feelings. But that was the first time she just said it out loud, At least as far as I can remember. I don't remember her like talking about her feelings much. What else was I gonna say? So again, we get with the Amelia thing. There we go. We're with Amelia. Subaru finally goes to go talk to her about it. And she opens up because it's Amelia and it's Subaru and she trusts him, so that's not like super crazy. But we get a little bit more of the fact that she doesn't really remember her memory. But either way, Subaru's like, I believe in you. She's like, yes, thank you. She goes to sleep, and then Subaru like reaches for her neck or reaches for her crystal with Puck in it. I want to say I think it was her neck because he froze her hands. I mean, he froze his hands. When he did that. And I don't think he would just do that reaching for the crystal. I mean, he might. I don't really know. I'd say it was the neck. It looked like a very strange pose. And so Puck had the nerve to get sassy with him about, oh, well, what the freak are you doing? And then Subaru was like, what the freak are you doing? She's been over here struggling, and her father animal spirit hasn't been out to help her in days. And then Puck finally comes out and he goes, Subaru, I'm at least glad you called me. So that's a little weird of a phrase. It's almost like Puck was expecting that or was hoping for that. Like that was the goal. So we have a lot of people who kind of have like these set goals for Amelia and set goals for Subaru. I feel like the two people who are struggling the most in this season, for obviously, are Subaru and Amelia, and then kind of Roswell because every time it fails, he dies. He doesn't care as much, but he's kind of the same boat too until they pass. So it feels like this weird training arc for the both of them. If you've really been paying attention to it, even when we start this thing, they won't tell either of those two information. Frederica can't say whatever. She's like, my master told me whatever. You guys just have to go with the crystals. You go there. Echidna knows more than what she's letting on to know, as we already know about that, because Roswell's over here like, I have this book from, I think it's from her specifically, and it's telling me the future, and you guys are gonna fail this, and ha 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 ha. She's obviously been surveying the scene, so even if let's say she didn't know that, right? Let's say if I gave her the benefit of the doubt, she's a lot smarter than everybody else in the cast, and it only takes her so much information to start figuring things out. She typically needs, she needs a decent amount of information, but when she does, she starts piecing everything together. If you have not heard the Greediff, then you should. I don't think it spoils too much, except maybe the ending. Somebody in the YouTube video kind of spoiled a little bit with the ending, and I'm not gonna do that. But there's a lot of YouTube videos that have like a non-spoilerish version up. So what was I getting into with Amelia? So Puck, he does that thing with Puck. Later on, we get to a scene. Subaru's talking to Ryuzu. He's talking to Ryuza Elma. Ryuzu Elma lets him know that it's Ryuzu Shima. It's Ryuzu Shima that is the one that should be helping Garfield at the moment. Garfield undertook the trial, but it turns out that Ryuzu Shima had to pull him out of it. Ryuzu Shima should know something about Garfield's backstory, in which his mother abandoned Sanctuary. So we're not sure the reason why. We would have to probably ask Ryuzu Shima for that. But we now know a little bit about Garfield's backstory and why he's such an angry prick. I mean, he's an angry prick. That's he's Bakugo 2.5. Like, I wouldn't say he's like a new version of Bakugo, right? Oh, I mean, my bad. Bakugo 1.5. I want to see his new version of Bakugo. I like him better than I like Bakugo. So that's like a whole different thing to me. And to his credit, at least with the dub, I got more of an opinion about him being kind of correct that Subaru was coming off mad suspicious. Like, he was mad sus at the moment. Subaru comes out the thing like, yeah, I can do the trial. You guys should tell me all your information. Let me know what needs to go on, and then I can get everything done. And he smells like the witch. And he just came out of a witch tombstone. And you're just like, or cemetery, my bad. And you're just like, man, no, what the heck? Why do these people, I don't care if these people trust you. I don't know you. I don't know you at all. And here you are, one, acting like we were chummy earlier. Second, asking me for all the information we know. For some reason. Okay, cool. I get you want to get Amelia out, but you didn't seem that worried about her to the point you're ready to leave. So, I don't know about that, right? So we now know we need to talk to the clone Ryuzu Shima to get more of Garfield's backstory. We now know that Garfield is probably having either some guilt he couldn't get through himself. Two, he couldn't get through his own past, which is the reason why he brought it up about the Amelia thing earlier, probably in the first loop, I believe. He's like, oh, is it even necessary for Amelia to face her past? So that's the second one. We know Shima thinks it's necessary, because that also happened. Ryuzu Shima brought up the fact that, oh, you think somebody should just ignore their past and just keep going. So those are two different conflicting mindsets. So I think Shima might be trying to get Garfield to face his past, but I don't think she's being active enough to get him there. And we're getting to a place now where somebody might. So we get back to Subaru and Amelia. Amelia's like, oh my gosh. Well, she reaches out to him because Subaru's like, you can tell me about anything, right? Oh, my bad. How am I skipping that? I thought I already talked about it. My bad. I'm re-recording this, so it's tripping me out. Puck breaks his contract with Amelia. So we don't know what Subaru and Puck talked about, but we do know that whatever happened after that, Puck has decided, guess I'm going to break this contract. I guess it's time. And he makes it seem like it's time part. So I'm wondering if that was Subaru's coercion or this was the plan that was kind of going along in general. And Subaru may have rushed it a bit more after talking to Puck and convincing him. That's what it sounds like. Because Puck earlier was talking as if he was just like sitting back and waiting, which again is a little surprising with all that stuff with the witch going on. It's kind of like, well, why weren't you out there then? Or when Amelia had her mind broken, are you just supposed to sit back the entire time? Which is weird because Puck has broken rules about spirits beforehand with Amelia in Frozen Bonds. So it makes me question, like, what the freak is Puck doing? Again, these cat people, man. I just maybe not Mimi and her sibling, but man, dude, Felix, Puck, I don't know what you're doing. You're pissing me off, darn it. Where we at? So he breaks his contract. The moment he breaks his contract, Amelia starts remembering her mother. Also, her mom. I'm sorry. The first thing that came to my brain was, man, her mom's kind of thick. That was the first thing to come out of my head. My poor head. Okay, I'm done. My bad. All right. But the first thing she's saying, her mom's saying, I love you, which is giving me mad Satella vibes. And at the same time as well, Amelia looks like she's running away from her mother. Her mom goes to hug her, and then Amelia is looking like she's going a different direction. Then when her mom hugs her, her eyes are big and wide. She doesn't look like she's happy to see her mom. She looks terrified. So my brain's thinking her mom did something either really bad, they got out of a situation that was really bad. She keeps saying like, oh, they're telling you lies. I need to rewatch that. This is just me coming off my like base reaction. So her mom's telling her something about like, oh, don't listen to their lies or something like that. So that's a very interesting statement. There's some weird either deception with her mother or something happened, an incident with her mother specifically. Without Amelia, I figured with Frozen Bonds, it makes it look implied like Amelia just froze everybody. And to a certain degree that there might have been a lot of innocent people in her life and she ended up freezing them, and now she's dealing with the PTSD or the trauma from that. But with this, it might make it seem as if Amelia is just, maybe she has done something like that, right? But her mom might be introducing her to something weird like this. I'm not saying like her mom's getting her to do it, but Amelia still clearly already had a traumatic past before all the freezing. That's what I guess I'm trying to say. She's clearly had one beforehand. So Puck leaves. She gets more memory about her mom. Puck says that him leaving will allow more memory about her mom and that the contract now is kind of like over. So that's a little bit of a weird thing. Amelia is crying. Like she's obviously feeling really sad that her only father figure is now leaving. And then Puck makes a statement that there's somebody else that loves her just as much. And at first I was like, is he talking about Subaru? Like that's a lot to say about some random 18-year-old you've met with your daughter now. I mean, he's done a lot. Don't get me wrong. That's completely true. Like he's done a crazy amount for Amelia, but that's kind of weird to say. Like that's not just me, right? Like that feels like it's been like a month or two with them, like all together. So that's kind of strange. Puck could be aware of the fact that Roswell's aware that, oh, this is the guy. That's what they're making it seem like, is you're the guy. You are the guy.
He's not the guy.
Beatrice doesn't have she doesn't know who specifically it is, but Subaru fits the role well enough that she could almost believe it. She's done it before, as we were aware. I think she says like there's been other people who have tried, so she's clearly let it like, oh, you might be the guy too. But it feels like with Subaru, there's a little bit more belief in that. We already hear the witch is talking about something with him as well, so that's like it's a lot. It's a lot going for Subaru. Puck leaves, contract, memory. Amelia's sad. Then later on we get to a scene where Amelia and Subaru are talking. It's late at night. Amelia's kind of having she's really obviously sad that Puck left. She reaches her hand to Subaru and she's like, can you please just stay here? Subaru's like, you can ask me whatever you want. She's like, can you stay here? They're holding hands. Now Subaru's kind of in this rim position, which is really funny to me, that now that Rem's gone, he's having to play Rim. He's now at somebody who he loves is now emotionally distraught, and now he has to stay by their bedside and hold their hand. However, Subaru leaves, and I am completely baffled on why Subaru left. So clearly, I think it's some plan with him and Puck. I think Subaru has been made aware of something with Amelia's backstory, and a part of the ending gets to that too. So we have two people now that are being put in a weird position. It's Amelia and Garfield. It's not Amelia and Subaru. Subaru is being put in a weird position in general, but the two people who are being focused on the most are those two. And they are kind of the two most important pieces in this plot to stop Roswell. So, Amelia wakes up after getting some more flashbacks of her mother. I think we get a little bit more of an image of her mother and her short hair. I think we even see her face. And more of the I love you again, weird to tell vibes. So then, she wakes up, she goes, Mother, you're a liar, Puck, you're a liar, and Subaru, because he's not there, is a liar. So she goes running off. Everybody wakes up in the morning, and they can't find her. Ram's like, yeah, Amelia ran off, and then Garfield's like, what? The princess ran off? What the heck? And so he's running around. Now he's going to look. He goes looking, I believe, in the chamber with the original Ryuzu is being held. And when he gets there, we're starting to get a little bit of our boys showing up with their plan, right? So OTTO's sitting there, the music's starting to play. We get the ending song from the beginning of season 2. I guess they're not going to change the ending song, I don't think. Because they're playing some music that came back a little bit from before. I like the music they chose for when Subaru was making his bet with Roswell. I think it's the da, da, really like that song when they do that. When the song he makes, the song that plays right before he jumps off the cliff. That song. So I love that they're going back. That's a nice callback. And that's when he made a bet to Ram too. That's actually really nice. I didn't even think about that. So, Garfield's in there. He's freaking out a little bit. Like he's like, "What the freak? Is somebody else in here?" No. He goes looking for the old woman first inside the house. She's not there. Then he goes back to that place. Then he starts going like, "Oh well, did they make like a contract or something?" It sounds like that's what he was thinking about. If I'm wrong, he leave it down in the comments. It's completely fine. That's what I was interpreting the scene as. He gets there, and then Otto touches the back of his shoulder, and he's like, "What?" And then Otto's now like a little bit further back from him, so Otto had like a little bit of a ninja moment. I was like, man, Otto, Otto's showing up this episode. Otto's giving good bro advice. Otto headbutted the crap out of Subaru. He also threw him to the ground. Now he's freaking out Garfield. Otto went from the kind of nerdish best friend in the group, Garfield being like the most Chad out of the group, and then Subaru being like the second Chad out of the group, and then there was Otto. Subaru, at least he's like the most clever. Garfield's clearly the strongest, and then Otto is now positioning himself that maybe he's the most clever, and Subaru just has a superpower. We're getting a little bit of like, what's my favorite thing? It's Ed and Eddie. I love Ed and Eddie. We're getting like a little bit of a Three Bros vibe that we might get out of this, and they can just get Garfield's head straight. So what I was talking about earlier with Garfield, when I said Ryu Tsushima wasn't doing the best job at pushing him forward, it now looks like Otto is going to push him forward. Otto says, I think he says something like, "Are you ready to face your past?" Or he's implying, "Do you want to take the trial? Are you going to be ready to take the trial?" It seems like Subaru might have purposely allowed Amelia either not to want to take the trial. It's a little weird depending because of the ending scene, so I'm going to go to that a little later. Or the situation got her to just not want to take the trial, but he was going to get Garfield to do it. Or that was part of Otto's plan. Again, it's kind of weird. We don't know yet. This is obviously no episode 1. So he's telling him that. So I think the direction for Garfield is he needs to take the trial and face his past as well. We might need to either have one person face their past or multiple people face their past, so we can get these people right, and we can now have them on our side, so then we can get back to the mansion. We can deal with these rabbits, because Lord, I don't know what he's going to do with the rabbits. That rabbit death was the most gruesome death out of this whole show. So we get to that. What else happens? Oh, so Amelia, Subaru finds her, so clearly he knew where she went. I think he probably followed her. I don't think he actually left her. I think he just did something, because he's all like dirtied up and scraped up. It's a little weird. He's not like bloody or anything, but he is like, he does have dirt and crap on his face and his outfit. So he was clearly going out to do something, and he tells Amelia, "We need to talk." So if you've ever been in a relationship, you should know that's never a good sign. In this case, it probably is, but typically that's a bad sentence. But yeah, so we're gonna need some development. We have to see if Subaru's gonna get Amelia to do it, what he's gonna say to her. Will Amelia be mad that he left? She didn't look really pissed when he sat down. She just kind of looked like, "Oh, he's back." But we don't know. She might go on like, "You're lying again, liar," or something. As I already said, this is really positioning these two as the two people who are really stuck here. And I guess now Garfield too, since it's like, oh, Garfield, you have to face your past too. But the two protagonists of this anime are definitely Amelia and Subaru. Amelia has to play Naruto, get over her past, use whatever power she had when she was freezing everything, if you remember that in Frozen Bonds. Most likely than not. She has to become an actually good ruler and not just say it. Because, again, I don't think she's going to do a great job. I think it'd be, again, Anastasia or Krush. What else was I going to say? It's a really cool situation we're getting into. Like, they are really writing this around, and there's a lot of foreshadowing in this. If you rewatch season 2, it seems like there's a lot of things pointing out where it's going to have to go. Like, Amelia literally starts off, I think, the season talking about Subaru. It doesn't make you like a loser or anything. If you have emotions in front of me, you should be able to have emotions in front of me. This stuff has started from the beginning of season 2. They have made this clear of what kind of the lesson is with this, being able to trust people, being able to talk about your emotions and that being okay, and then facing your past. And again, I kind of believe, and most people are going to do this is my own thing, I think Subaru kind of got it easy with his past, because Echidna likes him. I don't know if Echidna really likes Amelia much. And then Garfield she called a fool. So I think Subaru kind of got off a little easy. When we got to his second trial, however, then she was kind of like, okay, I guess I have to let him actually run a trial, because then she needed him to need her. The first trial, I feel like, was a gift. When you give somebody something, people are more likely to give back to you. So she gives a gift to him. She goes, oh my gosh, you passed it, good job. And then he gets to his second trial after a couple of, the deaths, because she was also aware that Subaru was having multiple lives. She just didn't know whether or not him saying it would kill her, but she was aware of it. So she lets him get all the way up to this point, and now she comes back and goes, well, all those deaths were really traumatic, but I pulled you out. I was here to save you, the person you could trust. So I think there was favoritism with the trial. I don't think she was just giving everybody the same amount of trial. I think the first trial was favoritism for Subaru. The second trial was obviously difficult because of his past, but also to get him to come over to her. And now, I don't know what they're going to do with the third trial. I don't know if he'll just go to... Will he just go to the third trial now? Or will he really have to redo the second one if he has to do it again? And then with Amelia, and again, she's not giving any leeway. She doesn't like her. She doesn't seem to really like Garfield. They have some sort of pact since he can control the Ryuzus, right? But I don't know. That's all my speculation. I'm already 25 minutes in. I could probably talk a lot more. If you enjoyed this, let me know. I just wanted to talk about season 2. I'm really excited for Rezero in this regard. This show is like freaking great. It's freaking crazy what's going on. The tension, man, the tension. All these corners that they have to work around is so much. I'll catch you later. Hopefully we will revive Rem eventually. Hopefully Amelia will be in the right place. Hopefully we can get Garfield to just be a part of the bros pack. Just give me my squad, dude. I just need my squad of bros. And then they show up to Roswald's door. They kick his door down. They're like, Roswald, you're under arrest. It's the three of us. And like Garfield picks him up, and then Subaru starts monologuing, and then Otto's behind him with his hands back. Otto's like posing in the background, and he's like, I need your money. And that's all I need, man. That's all I need. All right. I'll catch you later. Peace.
Don't leave!